Apparently I'm live, according to my phone. It's very nice of it. I guess we're slightly shy of 2:30, but and no one's here as yet. But welcome to Storyboard Sunday, stream number 3. I very naughtily skipped last weekend because it was Thanksgiving and we had many social engagements. And yes, sometimes it's Social Sunday, not Storyboard Sunday. So sorry about that, but we're back now. Yeah, you might notice that we have a slightly different UI this week on the app, not the OBS stream or scene. Sorry. I am in the midst of a big UI refactor, which I'm thinking is actually significant enough that I will call it version 2, which technically will be version 3 because there was a spiel reel before spiel reel, as we now know it, existed. But yeah, sorry, it's tea o'clock, so I'm going to be sipping a lot during the stream. I'm just editing the stream info slightly, which I know I probably could have or should have done before we got going, but you know what? I didn't think there'd be anyone here, to be perfectly honest, and so far I'm right, so I'll just, I'll finish that up and then I'll start some warm-up doodling and sketching and whatnotting. Storyboard Sunday, come and see Spielberg being developed, tested and used on, no, that is the entirely wrong keyboard, on hashtag Storyboard Sunday. I'm going to make that hashtag trend if it's the last thing I do. And it's not Storyboards, they are storyboards. Storyboards, Storyboard Sunday. Come and see the iPad storyboard drawing app. Ooh. Spiel reel being developed, tested and used on Storyboard Sundays. Done. Boom. Stream info updated. Woo. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna chill here for a bit, and if someone stops by, then maybe I'll go through and do a little explanation of the new features. But until then, let me just. I'm probably going to be a bit quieter this stream until I get into what I'm doing. So anyone watching the video of this later, you might want to skip through or just jog through to get to anything that's vaguely interesting, or do what I do: watch things at double speed on YouTube. It's a Netflix innovation that got quite panned the other week. I don't know if I've already talked about this on a previous stream, but the whole watching things at 1.5 speed or double speed. And look, there's so much to get through. If I want to enjoy a film as the filmmakers intended, I will go to the cinema, and I do, and I love it. If I'm watching a TV show, as the showrunners intended, there's a lot of TV to get through. So there's no way I'm doing Game of Thrones unless I can speed up to the good bits. I did season 1 and it was very good. But, there's a lot of seasons, there's a lot of episodes, and so I actually would really appreciate that. And you know what? If someone needs to use that to get through anything I make, that's entirely up to them. It's like speed reading, if you're a good reader, you can take in the information just as handily. Yeah, if you're familiar with the medium, then there's absolutely nothing stopping you from understanding what the intent was, and even feeling what the intent was, without necessarily having to go through the whole thing. Don't know who this chap is. Almost looks a little bit like Biscuit Dough Hands Man from the Homestar Runner extended universe. We've got some buffering. I'm going to turn that off because we've got a lot of streams. We want stuff going out, not coming in. So I'll have to make notes of any bugs I find with this. So essentially, this is a dog fooding session. I develop through the week, and Instagram notification. Head Plow liked my video, and Beryl Striner. Thank you both. I wonder if that means we'll be seeing Head Plow anytime soon. When you are the moon and you have a nose. I don't think the moon has a nose. Could be very wrong. Very much a pockmarked pubescent moon here. But he's full at least. Oh, 2 followers, 2 viewers. Hey. People have arrived. Which means the blither factor is going to increase. Please, if you welcome, thank you. If you have any suggestions for a scene or a beat or a moment or something, please let me know. At the moment, I'm just sort of warming up and trying to remember how to draw. And if you have any questions about the app, or pretty much anything in general, I will endeavour to answer them. If that's you, Head Plow, g'day. Hope you've had a good week. Not seeing anything in the chat. That's all right. I should not start with a circle. I always start with a circle. Let's start with a whatever shape this is. Oh look, it's the front of a Cybertruck. What is that? That's a... Still going to go for some sort of head of something. Kind of. Getting a little fish vibe there. Maybe it's a babel fish. It's not really, because it's not small, yellow, or leech-like. But, boom, boom. Anthropomorphizing a fish. Angry fish. Dope fish. There we go. See, that's what happens when you don't start everything with a circle. Still gets kind of blobby. Let's try some form of landscape, shall we? Cityscape would be fun. Got a big sort of skyline in the distance. It's one of my favorite bits of production design is the beautiful cities in the Keith Carl, always get them confused. The recent Dread film, and just those massive plains of it's the sort of huge plains of the endless cities, and then the huge enormous towers, and just of the city blocks, which yes, I'm doing it absolutely no justice there, but I thought that looked really cool, and I thought they sold the scale of it incredibly well, which is not always easy to do. Right, that was a slight diversion. So maybe let's look down on it. See, let's have a horizon off over there, and there's a main street that goes off to the vanishing point. And it's nighttime because it's always night in Cyberpunk, where of course the sky will be the colour of a TV channel tuned to a dead station. Which means nothing to you whippersnappers brought up on lookatives and OLEDs and such and similar. Back in the analog days, we had snow and static, and we were glad for it. Nice tall building here. That was foolish of me. I shouldn't have done the sky like that. There. Bam. Because we have layers for a reason. And now I can do this without interfering with it. There we go. Let's come back there. This is ugly as sin, but you know what? You start ugly, you keep pushing and pulling, and sometimes you get something halfway decent at the end of it. Whether or not that will be the case now is highly unlikely. Oh, let's have some foreground stuff. Yeah, let's get some good local perspective. Window sills. That'll sell that. Nice bit of foreground. Building across the way here. Now, I reckon in the background, because it's night, we're going to want to go off to a bit of darkness over there, darkness down there. Definitely shadows in all the corners. And we'll make our sky even darker. I was lucky enough to go to the View conference in Turin a few years ago, and we had an amazing presentation from the production designer, some of the production crew anyway, of Blade Runner 2049. And they showed these amazing night cityscapes like this, but you know, good. And had so they showed one where it's all, you know, here's the ground, and all the big city, you know, the skyscrapers and whatnot loading up from it, and it looked great, it looked fantastic, but it looked like everything else in sci-fi. And you know, when you're doing Blade Runner, one of the things you have to do is respect the history of how damn good that futuristic city was realized in the original. And they took so they took this picture and then they took the streets and just dropped them. So you had the ground plane was essentially the roofs of all these buildings, and then the light was just coming up from beneath. And it was such a simple change, but instantly elevated it. And it's like, yep, that's the look. That's the that's what will make this feel like Blade Runner, and not like Blade Runner 2049, and not like insert science fiction dystopian cityscape future number 779. That was cool. All right, let's get this a little lower there. I'm gonna just knock back the colors a little bit there, or the shades, and maybe we want to go something really quite dark because it's a road there, dividing that. Bam. Off to the void. But now let's put some light in there. Do something small. Sort of want to give the impression that there is a heap of traffic and momentum coming down here, kind of like the traveling walkways of Asimov's Caves of Steel, which this may or may not be giving the impression thereof. Maybe you want to go for something like a Starfield, jump to hyperspace sort of look. But if you focus that or funnel that down a very small that was foolish. No, it didn't take too long. I am rejigging the undo mechanism, so I was a little concerned there that that would have taken far too long. I think everything wants to be a little darker here to really sell the light that's coming from down there. Sides of buildings, sides of that. And then I'm going to just give that a little, like a game developer in the early 2000s, I'm going to add some bloom. Because you can never have too much bloom, apparently. Well, we couldn't for a long time there. And that will go up onto these buildings here, so the front pieces, well, yes, the facades, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. They'll get a bit of that light. There we go. Probably want some darkness in behind these windows, don't we? Alright, that's enough of that. Let's try something completely different. Anyone around who wants to suggest something? Not yet. That's okay. Nope. Come on. Sorry, I'm trying to keep myself vaguely in there. See, why is that? The two-finger undo, two-finger tap to undo is a little temperamental, shall we say. Okay. Been blithering for about 20 minutes here. Boom, 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 boom. what have we here? I think what we have here is and with pants like this, it can really only be one thing. A swashbuckler without his buckle. Because I don't fancy drawing a little shield. Let us... Got a little bit of pirate obsession. Mainly thanks to Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio. It's a very small hat, isn't it? Let's make it bigger for him. He would have a cutlass. Probably wants some sort of a... yeah, have a bit of a coat, wouldn't he? There. Whoa, that was more than I was expecting. Yeah. Well, that just looks like his pants now, doesn't it? Possibly that means he needs slightly longer legs. Item 121 on today's glitch list. Sometimes when moving things around after a transform, it doesn't redraw itself. Mostly it's always there though. Go. Some nice puffy pirate pantaloons. Don't like the way that he should be putting his weight on that. So let's I want that up more. Yeah, so this should be the shoulder that is relaxed. Bring that closer down to his hip. Captain Van Hook of Minerva. Yeah, it's feeling slightly better. I don't love it, but you know, it's a start. What can we do? Are we getting there? Let's maybe try. feels a little more natural, doesn't it? And also feels like he's not stabbing himself in the foot. So one should never stab or shoot oneself in the foot. There's probably plenty of other people around if you're a pirate who are prepared, or more than happy to do that for you, so no reason to do their job for them. Yar. He looks a little drunk. One of the cool things I learnt from Pirates of the Caribbean and from Johnny Depp's wardrobe is that the eyeliner he wears is actually sunglasses in a roundabout way. It's to stop the light from the sun reflecting off your lower lids and glinting into your eyes. I've actually tried it and surprisingly effective. Alright. Guess we should probably get into some kind of a story soon, given that that's, the first two syllables of Storyboard. Pirate in the city. He needs a big pistol, doesn't he? Flintlock or something. Give him two. Go on. He's well armed. Oh yeah, there we go. Yar. Okie dokie. Right, I think that's enough for a warm-up. Let's go, boom, new one, and I'm going to start on the background layers and try and think of something to do. Okay, do we want to start on a space station? Do we want to start at a high school? Do we want to start at a high school on a space station? That would be a very high. Bunch of weed smokers in a high school on a space station. So they're high at high. Greeting each other, saying hi whilst high at high. And it's a terribly drawn out excuse for a pun. So maybe we won't. Oh, this looks kind of planetary, doesn't it? Hello, Australia. Hello, Southeast Asia. Please forgive my terrible geography. The old zoom in from space. Been done. Okay, what have we got? Okay. In one of our films, we do have a fairly traditional train chase. Could do a train chase. Could we do that? What about a punch up? I don't know. I'm liking our pirate. Let's take our pirate somewhere. Okay, so let's have someone sound asleep. Slumped over at a bar, or a table in a dark corner of a bar. Nice jolly table there. Now that is pretty much the worst framing you could possibly have for this, but, and I don't think anyone but me is going to get that that is a sleeping drunkard like that, so we'll just do a little more to sell that. And a couple of maybe we could dupe that and the mouth wider. What is going on with this arm? Okay, I'm going to dupe that so we get a little snoozy snooze. Okay, now I've drawn all that on the background, which is terrible because it's the foreground of what's going on, but let me have a little go at giving this some sort of context. We are in a cheery tavernish kind of thing. Ooh. There's a big fire down the back here. And what I'm just going to do there is knock that back a little. Ooh, not like that. Entirely unlike that. With the oh, jeebus, not like that either. That's what I want. I want just want to make the point that that's a little different. And to be fair, in the front here we do need some level of detail. And I'm going to grab that now, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it on other frames. So he's down. Okay, I'm going to dupe that one. Snooze, snooze, snooze. Let's be a little more forgiving with that. Not forgiving, but I guess, yeah. Let the chap exhale once. And then in the finest traditions of storytelling. Finest. Let's have a... nice solid oak door. You can obviously tell this is oak, can't you? I mean, what else could it be? Okay, does that sell the idea? Close enough. Bam, we get to there, and completely not what I was after. That. I just want a new board there, and I want to see back 2 frames so we can get the... What is happening with that? When I go to a new board, I am getting a very annoying change in brush size. So something's being remembered badly. So that's item 122 on today's glitch list. Okay, we have a door. It is now flung open. Oh, 3rd notification. Maddie Mitchell. Thanks, Maddie Mitchell. Like my video. Maddie Mitchell, purveyor of fine paper bag doodles for kids' lunchboxes, which look bloody great. Okay, so we've got a shadowy figure standing in the door. Against the door like that. Okay, let's head to the background, and we're going to make this chap very much in silhouette. And the world behind him pretty dark. Don't be doing that on me again. Why are you remembering that badly? Ah, yes. Which is just catching myself muttering. We had an Uber driver the other day who was a champion mutterer, which isn't really a pleasant thing to be. So I'm endeavouring to not become an old man who mutters before my time, if ever. Okay, so this, let's give that a little bit of okay, that's going to want to be really short. Now I feel like we need a little more build up to this. Probably some sort of barman doing barman things. Board. Cleaning a mug. This isn't Kvoth the barman, or Coat the barman. And place him near his fire, because that would be a good place to put your bar if you're sensible. A few bottles up behind him. Oh, that is possibly the ugliest bottle ever in the history of bottles. Though I'm sure I could make a worse one if I attempted glass blowing. So we've got a tankard or stein here. He's just lazily What we got there? Pull that out. I did my horizon too high there. What kind of hair should he have? Probably a balding pate. So la la la. Wow, is that the most uncomfortable way to polish a glass? Where are we? There. There's a rag. Some fingers. Everyone needs some fingers. Again, I'm drawing my shoulders very high. They're sort of being held high up today. Shoulders are being worn high in whatever place this is. We have a zebra rock fireplace. La la la. Okay, so he's minding his own business. Could animate that. He's got customers who are snoring, and then bam, a stranger comes to town. And I think we're going to cut in there to some very they got a hat on. Everyone loves a hat. Do that for a little bit of detail, and then I'll let's go to the background layer, fill him in, give him a bit of something to play against there, and then we can just fill that. And the background, I'm just going to go full black. they just look way too cute. Let's try them on the foreground layer so we can clean them up more easily. Where's that? That's literally just the angle I'm looking at it from. So we've got some even darker stuff going on. Okay. That's a little better. And I'm just going to make his eyeballs much darker. And I think I'll start him looking, it's kind of weird, like I'm wanting to draw him with those eyes pointing to his right, so screen left, rather than starting looking to the right there. That's all right, that'll do. Now let's have him look. Barrel the camera, mate. Barrel the camera. Undo. There we go. Let's narrow those a little. No, I want him to go there. And what's he seen? He sees, what's that drunk guy looking like? So he has seen the start over one shoulder. So I kind of want to do a another Andrew Photo like movie video. Thank you, Andrew Photo. I want to see like the drunk guy here. This chair. Dead to the world. With a man in the hat there, and then sort of move over his back. I guess, I mean, if he comes into the room, he could kind of, like if he's walking in, that might make some sort of sense. Have the old barkeep. A little worried. Oh. Help. Okay, so if he's there, looking right, looking left, looking bam, seeing what he wants to see. Snorri Glodson. And now clean that up a bit. Okay, so he's innkeeper wants no trouble, because that's the last thing they want, which if you're a purveyor of alcohol, it's the first thing you're going to get. Got some more. Everyone's liking the video. Thanks everyone who's been liking the video. Okay, we've got him there, and now let's just pull that a little further. There. So we get him straight in profile, and then we can bring him up to so from like that, that finger down, thumb across. Wow, those proportions. Good God, son, where did you learn to draw? Okay, that is just appalling. Okay, but we are just trying to sell the idea. We can clean these up later, should we desire. So yep. Now, if the barman was meant to be important in this scene, what I would move to would be probably not as close as that, but something matching side on with most of his head. Over here. The kind of thing where he would be there, and then he would so come in, shh. Did that the wrong way around, didn't I? That's the actual one I want duplicated. That one can get deleted. Put him in between. Nice quick nod. Boom. And then we'd go back to stranger. And you know what? Maybe that's not too bad. It's an extra setup. So the producers would hate it, but that's all right. And yes, I'm coming up on an hour, so I probably shouldn't stream for too much longer. So yeah, he's got his thing there, and let's put. Okay, let's have him. I'd probably cut on the turn of his head here. Nice big ear, like people actually have. Boom, 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 and let's turn off the onion skin there. So that would just be a little quick one there. And now I kind of want to do something over the sleeping mass of our drunk chap here. So he's on his table, so it's almost his perspective, but not quite. What are his arms doing? Oh, they're both just in front of his face. There we go. Doors open over there in that wall. Maybe there's another table over here with no one at it. Probably a window. Very important. And let's let Snorri let's duplicate that first. Let Snorri have a little snore. You know what, I'm going to actually just give a little sense of his arm should be up still. He's barely come in, though. Yeah, that'd be wrong because we've walked in with him. Okay, so let's undo those. But yeah, I would have the head movement. So yeah, you'd cut on action from there to here. And let's have him come forward. to the left. Gotten things out of order down here. What a calamity. So yeah, looking over to the barman, looking forward. Doesn't need to look back there. So we don't actually need this one. This one can be the next approach. Because he's going to get pretty big in frame. How would you do if you're going to smash something on the table, you'd put your hands up like that, wouldn't you? Holding those up. Anticipation, and then, oh, have I done it again? Keep duplicating and then drawing on the one that I want to leave there. Extend that. But I'll dupe that. I will go to the one I want to go to now, and then take these off. Let that mug fly. As he slams his hands down, let's have some it's probably the closest. Put that at the end, so up and whack. What do we got? Up, waiting, down. Oh, yep. So that actually wants to come right to the end there. Maybe that's too short. Item 123 on today's glitch list. We need to put back the little timing indicator over the dragger. Okay. So let's clean off what we've got to clean off here. Boom, 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 boom. So the tank had got knocked over. Best hands ever. but ooh, let's just start again on that high. It's too bad, because Snorri man. It's having a lovely snoozy dream. Okay, so getting there. And we'll just end it with a little beat. From Man in the Hat. we'll start with him still looking down so we can get an eye roll in there. More readably. Bit like that. So let's start with the brows down. Eye roll. Ugh. Then can close his mouth. Brows not so quizzical. All right. Ooh, it's very slow. Might use the little new jog shuttle. Even then, wow, that's very slow. So we're gonna have to time this out. Ooh, I'm well out of front shot. Why? Oh, because I didn't hit play. Okay. Right. I think that'll do for today. Let's just sort of time this out and we can export, and I'll call that a Storyboard Sunday. Thank you to those who joined, and to those watching this in the far-flung future of whenever you see this on YouTube. Okay, so we've got plenty of him. Yada yada. I'm Barman. I'm a dude who is taking way too long to snore. So let's halve those, see where that gets us. La la la. Snow. Snow. Door. What's happening with the door? Bam! That's too slow. Well, maybe a titch longer there, but definitely much shorter there. Bam! Yeah. Okay, so what we definitely need here is a reaction beat from Monsieur Le Bargent, the Argent Bargent. Actually, let's have him actually startled. So he can drop. Muggy's cleaning and the rag. That's a bit more fun. Bam, door opens. Oh, did it again. No? What happened to... You all saw me like just draw a whole thing there, right? That is the strangest bug I think I've ever hit with this. Like to lose one or two strokes, but to lose that entire reframe. How strange. Okay. Let's just draw it again from scratch. We want him a little smaller in the frame. Looking over. Good golly, who is this? Drops the tankard. Whoa. Drops the rag. Best bottles ever. Okay, don't disappear on me. Thank you. Snore, snore, snore. Why are we waiting so long? Bam, because the door's about to slam open. Who's that? Okay, there, not there. Okay. Pass by. Whoa, okay. That's a move. Alright, so what's happening here? Maybe we can... I wonder if... Yeah, if we had this guy... we had this as a very short... Quick cut, so the door slams open. This may not work. And bam! He drops his thing. So we want that. Just give him a little, whoa. Don't want that. Definitely want to grab that and just wiggle it a little. Turn off the old onion. Maybe I'll get rid of those. Okay. So bam, open we go. I think that needs to be much shorter if that's going to be the case. Yeah, then we can go to a longer wide shot. So the motion goes up, we get a startled reaction from thing. Okay, now we're just being too slow again. Where are we? So he's looking over there. We don't need him to look over there for long. We know if he's over here, he's looking at the barman. So, cut to, looks over, looks back here. We could have a look with the barman, but because we're about to, I don't think we need it. Let's okay, that's too long. So this is a slightly confusing one because we're going from there. So maybe if we add just a little hint of the ceiling, then we can actually move that. I don't know if that'll help sell the fact that this is meant to be all part of one camera pan round. Again, don't love it, but yeah, what that actually needs is we need to finish the move. So we get over. So we want to dupe this and yeah. Okay. Too long there. Barn's not a quick nod. Whoa, I said a quick nod. And yeah, we can get into that faster. Okay, bam. We want to halve that. And maybe even more. Because then we want to turn to Snorri again. Oh, these are going to be nice and long. I'm just going to pull them right back. Just to start with. Then we can stay a little bit longer on that. That one's going to be a quick smash. And we don't want it to be too long there, so let's see how that plays out. Don't mind that too much. What I am going to do on this frame though is I'm going to grab the whole thing at a little bit of screen shake. And bam. Yeah. Okay, I feel we can last a bit longer there, but this too long. Alright, so he's obviously... Whoa, 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 whoa. Did I say move? Did I say move? Come on. Shifting around. There we go. I want that. And then I want that. Alright, snore, snore, snore. I'm actually going to divide this into two. And both short are. But that first one, I don't want the mouth open. So it's got somewhere to go. You know what? I don't actually think we need this frame there. I didn't even watch it that time. It was silly of me. Snore, snore. Alright, so just half a beat longer on there. Snore. Even longer. So it's beat of that, beat of eye roll, beat of this, which Alright, how are we doing? Streaming for an hour and a half, I think that's not a bad little effort there. So, yeah, if this was a scene I was actually going to be presenting to someone, I would probably do another pass at least like this, trying different camera angles and whatnot. Find something that, you know, really worked a bit better, and then yes, you'd clean it up. But if I was presenting to a different director, then absolutely I would spend a little more time cleaning up the actual renderings of the images, but not too much more, because you want to get buy-in, you know, and sign off before you waste the client's time, essentially, in that. It'd be nice to have a way to know just how many boards we have in there, because I'm sure I could count them, but I know the computer can count them faster. So yes, it's a question of where to display that. Probably back in the main screen. So I'm going to. How's this? Okay, got a little bug there, but at some stage I'm going to need to put in a function or a feature where I can sort of select these individual storyboards. So, you know, if you're trying to just do a PDF export here with just the sort of setups rather than every little beat, so we don't get a situation where you've got loads of snore frames when you really only need one, but that can be down the track. For now, I'm going to export that, and I will say thank you to everyone who came by, and thanks to everyone who watches this later. Thank you to everyone who follows on Instagram. And to all our users who have been giving us feedback, which is going into this new version, which I'm hoping will be out by Christmas. Once again, thanks everyone, and I'll see you next Storyboard Sunday. Bye.